So good day, I'm going to discuss about taxation of individuals. So first, let us classify the different individual taxpayers. So first, a resident citizen. An individual whose residence is within the Philippines and who is a citizen thereof. So next, individual is non-resident citizen. So before we can say that the individual is a non-resident citizen, there are certain requirements that must be met. So first, a citizen who establishes to the satisfaction of the commissioner of the fact of his physical presence abroad with definite intention to reside therein. So next, who leaves the Philippines to reside abroad, either immigrant or for employment on a permanent basis. So the best example for this is yung mga OFW natin, yung mga overseas Filipino workers, OCW, diba? So they are called non-resident citizen. So next, what if that citizen does not go abroad for employment? Diba? So ito, as long as that the citizen is working and deriving income abroad and whose employment requires physical presence abroad most of the time. So, on the period of 183 days or more during the taxable year. So, what if that non-resident citizen decided to reside here in the Philippines? So, paano yung approach doon? So, sabi dito, a citizen, it must be considered as non-resident citizen. So, paano yun? So, from the time na nag-arrive sila dito sa Pilipinas at nag-decide na manirahan ito sa Pilipinas, so doon na mag-uumpisa yung pagiging niyang resident citizen. So, from non-resident citizen, magiging siyang resident citizen. So, for example, from January 1 to July 1, nasa ibang bansa pa siya. So, however, noong July 1, umuwi na siya sa Pilipinas para mag-reside. Then, so, paano yung approach? So, from January 1 to before July 1, ang tawag pa sa kanya is non-resident citizen. Pero kapag nung uwi na siya, tapos dito siya nanirahan, so from July 1 hanggang December 31, automatic na considered as resident citizen. So, bakit kailangan natin i-identify kung resident citizen siya or non-resident citizen? So, syempre, magkakaiba-iba sila dun sa sources of taxable income. So, mamaya, i-discuss ko kung paano yung approach on every individual taxpayer sa pag-compute ng taxable income nila. So, next, resident alien. So, sabi dito, an alien residing within the Philippines and who is not a citizen thereof. So, the following are considered as resident alien. First, an alien actually present in the Philippines who is not mere transient or sojourner. So, sojourner is a person who are living temporarily in a place. Yung tawag doon. Then, a person who comes to the Philippines for a definite purpose, which in its nature may be promptly accomplished. So, next, an alien who comes to the Philippines for a definite purpose, which by its nature would require an extended stay, making his home temporarily in the Philippines. So, yung resident alien, yung mga foreigner na nag-decide na dito na lang matumira, yan. And also, an alien who shall come to the Philippines with no definite intention as to his stay. Tapos sabi pa dito, an alien who's acquired residence in the Philippines retains his status as a resident until he abandons the same and actually departs from the Philippines. So, yung resident alien, yung non-resident alien lang yan until kapag umalis na siya dito sa Pilipinas. Now, what if yung citizen na yung resident alien umalis na sa Pilipinas, anong tawag na doon? So, ang tawag na doon is non-resident alien. So, in non-resident alien, there are two kinds. First, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, sabi dito, alien not residing in the Philippines who is not a citizen thereof. So, foreigner siya, tapos hindi doon nanirahan sa Pilipinas, so ang tawag sa kanya is non-resident alien. So, ang unang uri ng non-resident alien is non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, di ba, from the term itself, it's so easy for us to identify, di ba, kung anong uri ng non-resident alien yan. Kasi sabi dito, engage in trade or business. So, that alien individual actually engage in trade or business in the Philippines. So, what if that non-resident alien are not engaging in trade or business? So, sabi dito, as long as that non-resident alien pumunta dito sa Pilipinas for more than 180 days during the calendar year, yan. And also, during that calendar year, it shall be deemed as non-resident aliens doing business sa Pilipinas. So, regardless kung nag-venture ba siya sa mga ganong activities, trade and business, as long as nag-stay siya dito sa Pilipinas ng more than 180 days, so considered as non-resident alien engaged in trade or business na yan. So next, non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. So dito, ang titingnan natin is yung period kung kailan siya nag-stay sa Pilipinas. So stay in the Philippines for not more than 180 days or aggregate, and those not included above. So, the best example sa non-resident alien that engage in trade or business ay yung mga foreigner, di ba? Yung mga nagko-concert sa Pilipinas. Yan. Considered yan as non-resident alien that engage in trade or business. So, next. So, let us now discuss on how we're going to compute the taxable income of each individual taxpayer. So, based from this table, diba, it's so easy for us to familiarize, diba, kung paano i-compute yung taxable income nila. So, tatandaan nyo lang na ang resident citizen, all of his or her income must be derived within and outside the Philippines. So, ang resident citizen, yung taxable income niya is composed of all of the income earned that are derived within the Philippines and outside the Philippines. Tama. So, compared to other individual taxpayers, the rest, ano lang sila, income derived within the Philippines lang para maging included siya sa taxable income. Okay, so next. So, regarding non-resident citizen, so as what I said earlier, ang example ng NRC is yung OCW or OFW. Diba? So, ang OCW or OFW is almost the same kung paano i-compute taxable income nila, kapareho lang sa non-resident citizen. However, kapag yung passive income, diba, ang OCW or OFW, nag-remit siya ng pera, diba, sa Pilipinas, sa mga kamag-anak nila, diba, yung mga money remittances nila, usually dinadaan yan sa mga depository bank. So, dito sa table natin, diba, here, kung yung mga money remittances na dinadaan sa depository bank under EFCDS, or Expanded Foreign Currency Deposit System, upon presentation of proof of non-residency, automatic na exempted yun sa 15% final withholding tax patungkol dun sa interest income na na-earn nung money remittances nila. Kasi nga, di ba, naka-deposit yun sa bangko. So, once na naka-deposit sa bangko, under EFCDS, di ba, nag-earn niya ng income, and the final withholding tax on that particular passive income must be exempted. Exempted siya sa 15% final on interest income or final withholding tax on interest income compared dun sa ordinary non-resident citizen, taxable sila sa final withholding tax na 15% patungkol dun sa interest income nila dun sa money remittances nila na nasa bangko. Okay, so yan. Dapat masasabi namin OSCW siya o FW kapag validly registered sa POEA with valid overseas employment certificate. So, kapag wala silang ganun documents, they are not considered as OCW or FW. Diba? Considered lang sila as regular or ordinary non-resident citizen. Tama. What if dun sa depository bank nila kung saan nagpapadala yung OFW ng Pero sa mga kamag-anak nila, ang nakapangalan dun is siya, yung OFW, at sabihin natin yung asawa niya. So, paano yung 15% final withholding tax dun sa interest income? Automatic na dahil nga dalawa yung nakapangalan doon, hindi siya nakapangalan lang dun sa OFW na yun, dapat yun ay taxable pa rin. So, half of that interest income must be subject to 15% final withholding tax. So, the other 50% hindi siya subject sa 15% final withholding tax. Kasi nga, nakapangalan din yung OFW. So, exempted po sila. So take 50. Okay, so kinds of income of individual taxpayer. So first, compensation income. Diba? These are income arising from personal services under employer-employee relationship, whether it takes the form of salaries, bonuses, pensions, allowances, representation fees, and other similar income, whether paid in cash or in kind. So as long as there is an employer-employee relationship, diba, all of the income, diba, na binibigay ng employer mo, automatic na considered as compensation income. So next, business income, earned by a sole proprietor or independent contractor who reports income earned from self-employment. So next, professional income, earned by professionals whose income is derived purely from the practice of his profession. So here, masabi lang natin na that income is considered as professional income if that income is earned, diba, derived purely from the practice of his profession. So, halimbawa, kapag yung taxpayer niya yun, ang kanyang profession is a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, then he decided to venture other field, diba? Like for example, naging ano siya, what they call this? Halimbawa, nag-sideline siya. Diba? Nag-ano siya ng mga other services. Diba? Aside from yung pagiging, CPA, nag-venture pa siya ng other field. So, yun, although that taxpayer is a professional, diba? Automatic na yung income na earn niya from other services, diba? Hindi siya aligned sa pagiging profession niya, sa pagiging CPA, automatic na considered din as business income. Okay, so next, passive income. Income earned without working actively. Diba? Sabi nito, they are subject to different final withholding tax rates and shall not be included in the gross income of the taxpayer. So sabi nito, diba, the passive income are those considered as investments. So here, you decided to invest on something. Tama? Like for example, sa corporation, nag-invest ka, nagkaroon ka ng shares. So, diba, you are not required to do or to perform or to render any services to the corporation as long as you invest something sa corporation, automatic na considered yun as passive income. And those income, or like for example, interest income, dividend income, diba? Yun yung mga income na nare-receive without working actively or without rendering any service. So, yung income na na-earn patungkol sa interest, like interest income or dividend income, automatic na subject sa different final withholding tax rates. And at the same time, it must not be included sa gross income or sa taxable income ng taxpayer. So, ibig sabihin, like for example, yung dividend, diba? So, nagbibigay ng dividend, corporation. So, yung dividend na yun, kung subject sa final withholding tax, automatic na, si corporation na yung mag-withhold. Tapos, ang matatanggap na lang ni shareholders ay net of final withholding tax. So as a result, no need for the taxpayer to include the income dun sa taxable income niya na ilalagay niya sa income tax return. No need na. Kasi for the time it's a final withholding tax. So yun yung final payment. No more tax must be paid on that particular income. Kasi nga, final payment na po yun. So, no need for the taxpayer to include that income sa taxable income niya. Kasi bayad na po yung income nila. Tax niya patungkol dun sa income na yun. So, there are 4 types of income taxes. So, first, basic income tax on regular ordinary income. So, if this income is subject to graduated tax rates, mamaya di-discuss ko yun, o kaya doon sa 8%, diba? Mamaya di-discuss ko rin yun, automatic na, ang tawag doon, basic income tax on regular ordinary income. So, next, final withholding tax on passive income derived from Philippine sources. So, here, diba, yung passive income niya yun, automatic na subject to final withholding tax as long as that passive income is derived or earned here in the Philippines. So, if that passive income is derived or earned outside the Philippines, automatic na, it must not be subjected to final withholding tax. Wala pong final withholding tax sa mga passive income na na-earn outside the Philippines. No, wala. So, if the taxpayer is a resident citizen, automatic na all the passive income that derived or earned outside the Philippines must be included in the taxable income of that taxpayer. O included po yun sa taxable income niya. What if the passive income is derived here in the Philippines? So, subject siya sa final withholding tax. As long as pasok siya dun sa table natin mamaya, na dapat na maging familiarize kayo kasi nga, hindi siya given sa problem. So, bawat, what they call these kinds of passive income, there are respective tax rates in every individual taxpayers. So, iba-iba po yung tax rates nila. Sa bawat passive income, passive income at the same time kung anong uri ng taxpayer yung magbabayad. Okay? So, what if the taxpayer is a non-resident citizen? So, first, let us identify how to compute the taxable income of a non-resident citizen. So, di ba, pag-compute ng non-resident citizen, yung taxable income niya, automatic na, dapat yun ay within the Philippines. So, all income that he or she earned inside the Philippines or within the Philippines must be included sa taxable income niya. O within lang. So, yung mga outside the Philippines na income na na-earn niya, hindi yan dapat isama sa taxable income. Kasi nga, non-resident citizen yung taxpayer. Compared to resident citizen, all of the income earned inside and outside dapat ilagay sa taxable income kasi nga, resident citizen yun. Okay, so next, capital gains tax on sale of shares of stock of the unlisted domestic corporation. So, mamaya, di-discuss ko rin yan. So, next, capital gains tax on sale of real properties located in the Philippines. Mamaya, di-discuss ko rin yan, para mas detailed. So, here, if in the problem, ang tanong, how much is the total income tax expense? So, all of the types of income taxes ng apat na yan must be summed up, diba? Para makuha yung total income tax expense. Tama. Pero pag tinanong, how much is the taxable income? So, ang ilalagay mo lang is yung tinutukoy lang niya is yung basic income tax on regular or ordinary income. Tama. Pero kapag ang tinanong, how much income is subject to final withholding tax? O yung final withholding tax lang yung mga passive income na yung tinutukoy. Tama. So, pero kapag tinanong, how much are the total income tax expense? So, all of these income taxes, diba, must be summed up to came up on the total income tax expenses. Okay, next. So, this is the table, the grated tax table. Diba? So, I already discussed, diba, the graduated tax rate. So, what kind of system yung ginamit ng Pilipinas na natin patungkol sa graduated tax na ito, diba? Ano siya? Progressive tax system. So, it means the income, the tax rates, and of course, the tax to be paid is directly proportional. So, if your income is tumataas, malamang yung tax rate tataas din. At the same time, yung babayaran ng tax, tataas din. And vice versa. No? Okay, mamaya i-discuss ko kung paano mag-compute niya. Pero sige. Halimbawa, ang na-compute ng taxable income is 400,000, 440,000. So first, yung taxable income. So yun yung tax base natin. So first, let us identify kung saan siyang pasok na range, income range sa table. So, di ba? First row, over 0 but not over 250,000. Diba? Lumagpas pa siya kasi 440,000. So, hindi siya dito sa first row. Second row, over 250,000 but not over 400,000. So, lumagpas pa rin siya. So, hindi siya pasok dito sa second row. How about in the third row? So, over 400,000 but not over 800,000. So, pasok po yung taxable income. Sa example ko na ang amount is 440,000. Pasok na pasok sa range na ito. So, first, let us identify yung excess ng taxable income. Tapos, i-deduct natin doon sa first column. So, sabi doon, 440,000 yung taxable income. So, less, dito sa table natin, less over 400,000. So, may excess siyang 40,000 pesos. Tama. Yung 40,000 na yun, ino-multiply po dun sa tax rate na 25%. Tama. So, 40,000 yung excess times 25% equals 10,000 pesos. And the 10,000 pesos, i-add na natin yung tax fixed amount patungkol kapag yung income ay 400,000 pesos. Kaya, iba yung excess lang deducted dito sa first column, i-multiply natin dun sa tax rates. Then, i-add na natin yung fixed amount patungkol dun sa ceiling, di ba? Kaya kanina niles ko, 440,000 less ito, 400,000. Kasi nga yung 400,000 may fixed amount na yan na dapat na mabayaran ng tax. No need for you to compute it kasi given naman na siya sa problem. So, 30,000 pesos. So, the taxable income, 440,000 less 400,000, ang excess is 40,000 times 25%, 10,000 equals 10,000 pesos plus 30,000 pesos. Ang total is 40,000 pesos. Yun po yung income tax payable niya. Okay, so here, yung mga dito sa first column ng table natin, meron na yung fixed amount na tax, which is, ito na, sa third column natin. Then, yung excess na lang, patungkol doon na ililis natin doon sa first column, yun yung multiply dito sa tax rates. Tama? Then, i-add natin yung fixed amount na tax. So, yun yung total income tax payable. Okay? So, next. So, what if the individual resident citizen are, how about the resident citizens are married individuals? So, sabi dito, married individuals are required by law to file a consolidated income tax return, but they shall compute their individual income tax separately. So, pag married individuals yan, automatic na they must file a consolidated income tax return. However, in that particular RTR, yung BAR 1701, nakita nito, naka-separate yung computation ng husband and wife. Kasi nga, considered sila as individual, separate individual taxpayer sila. Okay, next, income that cannot be definitely attributed to or identified as income exclusively earned or realized by either of the spouses. The same shall be equally divided between the spouses for purposes of determining their taxable income. So, what if the income, di ba, hindi nila ma-identify kung kayo ba talaga yun, kung sino nag-earn, automatic na, must be divided equally. So, both, on that particular income, 50% sila dapat included sa tax, nila, doon sa computation, separate. So, parang silang may 50% patungkol doon sa income na yan. As long as hindi nila ma-identify kung kayo ba talaga yung kung sino ba talaga yung nag-earn ng income na yun. Okay, next. What if the spouses are physically separated and there is no legal separation. So, as long as there is no legal separation, the married individuals must always be considered as, di ba, married individuals, as is lang siya. So, kung ano yung ginagawa ng married individuals patungkol dun sa pagbabayad ng na income tax, dapat magpa-file rin sila magpa-file rin sila ng consolidated income tax return kahit sila, physically separated. Now, at the same time, ganun din sila jointly and severally liable to tax. Okay, so next illustration po natin. So here, di ba, taxpayer sa husband and wife. Anong sabi doon? Dapat daw yung computation nila separate. So, husband, di ba? Sabi dito sa example natin, yung 360,000 daw, yan yung gross receipts from the profession. However, it is net of 10% withholding tax. So, ano ba yung purpose ng withholding tax? So, yung withholding tax po, yan yung paunang bayad ng taxpayer. At the same time, si BAR, ang purpose din yan is yung madali para kay BAR ma-trace or ma-validate or ma-confirm kung magkano ba talaga yung na-receive na income ng taxpayer. Kasi nga, di ba, withholding tax yan. So, kung sino nagbayad niya, siya yung mag-withhold, tapos siya rin yung mag-remit sa BAR. So, ang matatanggap na lang ng taxpayer is net of withholding tax. Tama. So here, dahil nga paunang bayad yan, diba, dapat itong gross receipts from the profession, dapat i-include natin yung net of withholding tax. Kasi, after computing the taxable income, then makukompute mo na yung income tax payable. Then, ililas na natin yung withholding tax. Deductible naman yan sa income tax payable. Kasi nga, yun yung paunang bayad mo. Bayad na po yan. So, dapat tanggalin natin sa income tax payable. However, sa taxable income, dapat i-include pa rin yan. Okay? So, next, cost and expenses, the practice of profession. So, allowable deduction yan. So, ano yan? Pwede gawing deduction patungkol dun sa gross income ng husband. So, next, quarterly income tax paid, 16,800. Later on, I'm going to give a problem, diba, on how to compute paano kung individual taxpayer is venturing a business, okay, a profession, diba. Mas maganda kung mag-illustrate ako ng problem para it is easy for you to diba, familiarize on those transaction, diba? Kasi business nyo, kasi pag business or profession or practice of profession, usually dapat nagbayad sila quarterly. Tama? So, every first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, kailangan nila magbayad ng income tax. Diba? So, here, diba, quarterly income tax paid. So, itong computation kasi natin, for the taxable year na to. So, sum up na yan. All of the income within that are earned within taxable period, diba, nakalagay na dito. So, kung practice sa profession niya, so every quarter, nagbabayad siya ng tax. So, ito, yung quarterly income tax paid, ito yung total na nabayaran na niya. It's patungkol dun sa income tax. So, kasi nga, diba, kapag nagko-compute ka kasi, pag first quarter, diba? Halimbawa, first quarter, ang taxable income, 1 million. Tama. So, sa second quarter, dapat yung taxable income na na-compute mo, included pa rin yung income tax kasi cumulative basis po yan. Diba? Kahit nabayaran mo na yun yung first quarter, dapat second quarter include mo na. So, wag ka rin mag-alala kasi nga, ililas rin naman yung nabayaran mo na tax o income tax ng first quarter. No, yun yung purpose kung bakit kailangan i-cumulative. Kasi nga, kapag hindi cumulative siya, hindi mo talaga makikita yung the right amount of taxable income. Tama. Kasi, di ba, sabi nga dun sa, dun sa graduated tax natin, habang tumataas, lumalaki yung tax rate, lumalaki yung babayaran. So, kung sa business, di ba, kung kailangan magbayad quarterly at hindi mo isa-sum up yung total taxable income, di ba, every quarter, hindi mo makikita yung totoong taxable income, yung correct taxable income. At the same time, lugi rin sa government kasi nga maliit yung nakokolekta niyang income tax. At the same time, di ba, dapat, di ba, sa taxable year, all of income na na-earn yung sa taxable year na yun, dapat ito total din. Tama. So, lahat ng naunang nabayad ng mga previous quarters, kailangan i-deduct na natin. So, ito, deduction yan mamaya. Dito sa pag-compute ng income tax. Okay? So, si husband, diba? So, ang na-receive niya daw sa gross receipts from profession net of 10% withholding tax, 360,000. So, yung 360,000 is just only the 90% of the total gross receipts. So, i-divide natin, 360,000 divided by 90%, 400,000. So, yung 40,000 na withholding tax, include po natin yan sa taxable income. Kasi later on, sa pag-compute natin income tax due, i-deduct naman natin yan. Tama. So, last cost and expenses, 120,000. So, the taxable income is 280,000. So, graduated tax rate. So, sa problem, di ba, kapag walang sinabi ko anong gagamitin computation, automatic na ang gagamitin na yung graduated tax rates. So, sabi dito, 280,000 taxable income. So, first row, hindi siya pasok sa range na yun, sa range ng income. Second row, pasok siya kasi over 250,000 but not over 400,000. So, magkano yung na-compute natin taxable net income? 280,000. So, 280,000 less 250,000 kung yung nakalagay sa first column. So, ang excess po niya is 30,000. Tama, 30,000. So, 30,000 times 20%, ang income tax payable niya is 6,000 pesos. Tama. So, bakit dito sa first column walang fixed amount ng tax na dapat bayaran? Kasi nga, pag 250,000, ano yan? Exempted po yan. Kaya, hindi nyo nilagay dito. Kasi, kapag 250,000 and below, 0% po yan yung babayaran. So, exempted po yan. Compared to other range of income, diba? May fixed amount. Okay? So, next. So, after computing the income tax payable at graduated rate, 6,000, less na natin yung quarterly income tax rate kasi nabayaran naman yan last previous quarter. Tama? At the same time, diba, sabi ko nga kanina, dapat yung gross receipts dito, dapat cumulatively basis, itong yung 400,000 yung total na na-earn ni husband from first quarter up to the last quarter or fourth quarter. Kaya, yung income tax, ang quarterly income tax paid na nabayaran ng mga previous quarters, i-less na natin. Okay? Kasi cumulative basis nga dapat. No, ang computation kapag quarterly. Okay, less income tax withheld 40,000. Ito na yung kanina, di ba? Yun yung withheld nung nagbayad kay husband patungkol yung sa pag-render ng services, di ba? So, deduct natin 40,000 kasi bayad na po yan. So, nagkaroon siya ng income tax refund na 50,800. So, paano kapag-refund? So, may proseso yan kung paano mag-claim. So, sa mga susunod na topic natin, mag-discuss ko naman yan. So, kapag refund, ang nakuha dapat, negative siya. Now, so, walang babayarang income tax, pero meron siyang income tax refundable. So, how about the wife? Meron ni wife sa gross compensation income, 200,000 pesos. So, sa table natin, di ba, 250,000 and less, automatic na siya, exempted na po siya. So, no need for the wife to pay any taxes or any income tax kasi nga exempted naman siya. So, yun. Paano kung sa gross income and deductions mayroong centavos? So, sa gross income and deductions for expenses and losses, pwede magkaroon ng centavos. However, sa income tax, sa pag-compute ng income tax, sa taxable income, tama, dapat centavos are to be dropped. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang na-compute sa taxable income, sabi dito, is 50 or more centavos, add 1 peso. Tapos then, 0 na yung centavo. What if kapag less than 50 centavos, disregarded na, no need for simple rounding off lang naman yan. So kapag less than 50 or less, kapag less than 50, automatic na rounding down. So no need for adding 1 peso. Kapag 50 or more centavos, yan, automatic na rounding up siya, plus 1 lang. Okay? So, next, individual taxpayer. Tax on non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, kapag nga kanina, na-discuss ko na to, as long as the non-resident alien, diba, stayed here in the Philippines for more than 180 days, diba, automatic na, ang tawag dyan is non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. Although, hindi naman talaga siya nag-venture na any trade or business activities, diba? As long as nag-stay siya sa Pilipinas for more than 180 days, automatic na considered as non-resident alien engaged to business. So, ang pag-compute ng taxable income niya is dapat all income that was earned and derived within the Philippines must be included sa taxable income niya. Kapag outside the Philippines, wala, no need. Not taxable yun. Okay? So, sa illustration natin, sabi dito, si Julius daw, married with one dependent child, a foreign citizen residing abroad. So, non-resident alien siya, but engaged in business in the Philippines. So, no doubt, ang tawag sa kanya as a non-resident alien ay, engaged in trade or business. Kasi nga, engaged in business in the Philippines. Tama. Sabi dito, deriving income abroad of US, $190,000 and $220,000 in the Philippines. So based from the problem, diba, dapat i-identify natin kung anong uri ng taxpayer. Sabi dito, foreign citizen residing abroad. So, non-resident alien, non-resident alien in not engaged in trade or business. Non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So, paano ba tinataksan yun? Dapat, yung included lang sa taxable income niya is yung lahat ng income na na-earned or na-derived dito sa Pilipinas. Now, so, ang i-include lang natin sa taxable income niya is yung 220,000 kasi yun yung na-earn dito sa Pilipinas. How about the $190,000? So, hindi na dapat yung include kasi nga outside the Philippines. Kasi nga, as a non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, taxable lang yan within the Philippines. Okay? So, same lang. Titignan natin sa graduated tax rates. Diba kapag ang taxable income, 220,000, automatic na yan ay exempted. Okay? So, exempted dyan. Sa perito, non-resident aliens are taxable only on income derived from sources within the Philippines. So, as what I said earlier, tama. So, individual taxpayers are not entitled to claim personal exemption. So, because of plain law, no individual taxpayers can avail any personal exemptions or additional exemptions. Wala na po yan compare yung old tax law na pwede sila mag-claim. Ngayon, wala. Pare-pareho, lahat ng individual taxpayers, yun na pwede mag-claim ng personal exemptions and additional exemptions. And yung mga other exemptions such as health and hospitalization, insurance, ganyan, wala na yung deduction. So next, income earned by alien employees. So kapag alien employees yan, so considered as siya as resident alien. So paano tinatax ng resident alien? Within the Philippines only. So, sabi dito, subject to regular income tax rates, all employees of dapat empleyado siya ng regional or area or of headquarters and regional operating headquarters of multinational companies. Next, offshore banking units. And last, petroleum service contractor and subcontractor. So, automatic na considered as alien employee siya. Tama? So, next, they shall be subject to regular income tax rates without prejudice to the application of preferential tax rates under existing international tax treaties if warranted. So, here, di ba, as long as dun sa, meron siyang other preferential tax rates na binibigay ng other country kung saan siya citizen, di ba? Automatic na considered pa rin na dapat i-complete yung tax rates niya, income tax payable niya based on graduated tax rates. Okay? So here in our illustration, so sabi nito, si CCF, an alien employed in MCUD a corporation. So that is a petroleum service contractor. So pasok siya dun sa requirements para maging alien employee siya. So siya nagkatrabaho, petroleum service contractor. So considered siya as alien employees. So resident alien siya. Tama. Receive a compensation of 5 million for 2018 inclusive of 400,000, 13-month pay and other benefits. So kapag resident alien ka, most especially if you are alien employees, the computation of your taxable income is the same with the resident citizen. So, kung paano kinukompute ng resident citizen, ganun din computein ang alien employees kapag patungkol dun sa compensation income na na-receive ng alien employees. So, sabi dito, may gross compensation income siya na 5 million. Tama? So, pwede siyang mag-avail ng 13-month pay, yung mga extension doon, yung mga diminished benefits, pwede rin siya mag-avail nun. Tama. So, as if na para din siyang resident citizen kapag sa pag-compute ng taxable income as long as consider siya as alien employees. Okay. So, kahit tama ba? Okay. So, here, the taxable income is 4,910,000 net of 13-month pay and other benefits. So, di ba na-discuss ko na ito sa gross income na kapag 13-month pay and other benefits na 90,000, exempted yan. At the same time, the 13-month pay, the inclusion for 13-month pay and other benefits, ang included din dyan po ay yung mga excess patungkol sa diminished benefits. Like for example, the clothing, in our tax code, the ceiling for clothing allowance as a diminished benefits, part yun ng diminished benefit, ang ceiling po niya is 6,000 pesos. Tama. So, whatever the excess of that amount must be included dun sa 13-month pay and other benefits. So, isa-sum up po yan lahat ng may excess patungkol dun sa diminished benefits. Tama. So, like for example, 7,000 yung clothing allowance na binigay ng employer mo. So, less the ceiling, 6,000 pesos. So, may excess siyang 1,000 pesos. So, that 1,000 pesos must be included sa 13-month pay and other benefits and other excess sa mga diminished benefits. Automatic na isasum up po yung lahat. And the usual, the 13-month pay, ganyan, di ba? Christmas bonus, yan, preparation, what they call this? Productive incentive bonus, yan, automatic na included din sa 13-month pay and must be summed up. Diba? After summing up all of those 13-month pay and other benefits, ililas na natin po din yung 90,000 pesos. Kasi yung ceiling. Tama? Then, the excess, yun yung isasama natin sa taxable income po. Diba? Na-discuss ko naman yun. Pero mamaya, the other topics, later on, other topics, may ganong topic na mas detail para mas maunawaan nyo. But, yan, I already discussed this. Pero ito, tuloy-tuloy kasi magkakaano naman yan. Ito magkaka-connecta yan. So, dapat may mastery tayo. Kasi once na hindi natin alam kung paano kumpitin yun, wala. Hindi natin makuha yung tamang taxable income. Kaya, nilagay ko pa rin dito. So next, as a rule, all employees of regional area of headquarters and regional operating headquarters of multinational companies, offshore banking units, and petroleum service contractors and subcontractors shall be subject to regular income tax rate. Tama. So, let's check. Now, sabi dito, ang taxable income na na-compute is ito. 4,910,000. So, let us compute. So, 4,910,000. So, first, let us identify kung saan pasok siyang range ng income. So, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 row. Yung sa 5 row, pasok siya sa range. So, over 2 million, but not over 800,000. So, let us compute. So, ang na-compute na taxable income is 4,910,000 less over 2 million. So, ang excess po niya is 2,910,000. Then, kung i-multiply siya sa tax rate, given naman na 32%, so 931,200. Diba? How about that 2 million? Diba? Ang fixed, niya, nakalagay na sa table yung fixed amount na. So, no need for you to compute. So, i-add mo na yung 490,000. Yung 419,000, yung corresponding income tax income tax payable or income tax na dapat bayaran patungkol dun sa 2 million mo. Tama. So, plus 490,000. So, 0.32 times 2,910,000. So, 931,200 plus 490,000. So, ang sagot po is 1,421,200. So, let's check if it is right. Kung tama ba yun? Tama. So, 1,421,200. Okay, next topic is all about passive income. So, here, passive income is an income earned without working actively. So, continuous po yan na earned. So, no need for the taxpayer to render any service, diba? No need for that that investor to be an employee of that particular business, diba? Ganyan. So, sabihin without working actively, investment lang po siya. So, they are subject to final withholding tax rates and shall not be included in the gross income of the taxpayer. So, kanina nga, di ba, yung passive income na yun, as long as subject to final withholding tax, automatic na, it must not be included in the gross income of the taxpayer. Kasi nga, we need final payment patungkol sa passive income na yun. No need for the taxpayer to include, tama, sa taxable gross income niya. Okay? Under the final withholding tax system, the amount of income withheld by the withholding agent is constituted as full and final payment of the income tax due from the payee on the said income. So, no need for the taxpayer to include that passive income sa kanyang gross income. Next, the liability for payment of tax rests primarily to the payer. As a withholding agent, the payer is not required to file an ITR for the particular income. So, yun nga. So, kung sino payer nagbayad, automatic na i-withhold yun as long as pasok siya sa mga passive income na final withholding tax, siya na yung mag-withhold and siya yung mag-remit sa BIR. So, no need for the taxpayer to file an income tax return for that particular passive income. So, as a result, sabi ko nga po, at ulit ko, no need for the taxpayer to include that passive income in his or her gross income. Okay, so passive income derived from the Philippine sources. So, dapat yung passive income na yun, magiging subject to final withholding tax, ay dapat na-derived lang or na-earned inside the Philippines. So, kapag outside the Philippines yan, na-earn yung passive income na yan, kapag resident citizen ka, automatic na dapat include dyan sa taxable income. Kasi nga, ang resident citizen ay tinatax within and without. And the rest, individual taxpayers, aside from resident citizen, yung passive income na earn nila sa ibang bansa, no need for them to to pay the final withholding tax kasi nga hindi naman siya na-derive sa Pilipinas. At the same time, no need for them to include that passive income sa kanilang taxable income. Kasi nga, na-earn yan outside the Philippines. Kasi yung mga individual taxpayer, except resident citizen, are taxable within the Philippines only. Okay? So, here are the final withholding tax rates. So, first, interest from any bank deposit. So, kapag resident or citizen siya, automatic na 20%. So, what if individual taxpayer is a resident alien? So, how much? What is the tax rates to be used? Diba? 20%. Kasi basta mo sa pangalan niya, meron may resident or citizen, automatic na 20%. So, dalawa lang naman yan. Resident citizen, the next, non-resident citizen, next, ay tatlo pala, resident alien. So, yung tatlo na yun, automatic na 20% yung final withholding tax niya patungkol sa interest income from any currency bank deposit. So, what if kapag may income ay hindi interest, deposits from any currency bank deposit. So, subject ba yan sa final withholding tax sa 20%? Hindi. Kasi ang tinutukoy ko dito is yung interest lang po, yung interest income from any currency bank deposit. Yun yung subject sa 20% final withholding tax. Kasi nga, ang interest income is considered as passive income, but the deposit itself, it is not considered as passive income. Deposit naman lang po yun. Ang tinutukoy dito is yung interest income. So, kapag non-resident alien engaged to business, almost the same lang, 20%. Tama. Ang kaiba lang is yung non-resident alien not engaged to business. So, 25% siya. Okay, final withholding tax. So, si payer ang mag-withhold ng final withholding tax, then no need for the taxpayer to include in the taxable gross income. Tama. At the same time, no need to file separate ITR for that particular passive income. Kasi nga, si payer na yung bahala. No. So, next, yield or any other monetary benefit from deposit substitutes and from trust funds and similar arrangements. So, almost the same with the interest from any currency bank deposit. So, pareho lang yung, tax rates niya. Tama? Next, royalties. So, kapag resident or citizen, yung naunang tatlo, which is resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, ang final withholding tax rates niya is 20% patungkol sa royalties. So, NRA, ATB, 20%, then yung not engaged to business, so yung 25%. Okay, kapag royalties on books and other literary works and musical compositions, automatic na, yan ay 10% kapag resident or citizen. So, kapag non-resident alien at engaged to business, 10% din. Kapag NRA not engaged to business, 25%. So, medyo madali lang naman siyang i-familiarize kapag ulit yung basahin. May naalala nyo na lang yan instantly. So, kapag prices amounting to more than 10,000 pesos, so, subject to final withholding tax yan na 20, 20, 25%. Okay, kapag 10,000 or less, pag resident alien, ay kapag resident or citizen, included yan sa income tax. So, like for example, prices amounting to 10,000 pesos. So, included yun sa taxable gross income, but not subject to final withholding tax. Kasi wala naman siyang rate dito. Sabi dito, it must be included sa taxable gross income. So, subject yun sa basic income tax. Ganyan kapag NRA engaged to business. However, kapag NRA not engaged to business, 25%. Okay? So, next, other winnings. So, regardless of the amount. So, ano siya, 20%, 20%, 25%. Pareho lang ito ng prices. Now, next, PCS, Philippine Charities with Stakes winnings and Lotto winnings in the Philippines amounting to 10,000 or less. So, kapag na-receive sa Philippine Charities with Stakes, kapag 10,000 or less, exempted siya kapag resident or citizen. At the same time, yung NRA, engaged to business, exempted din siya. However, kapag not engaged to business, 25%. Tama. Kapag ang pinapanalo sa Lotto is more than 10,000, automatic na subject sa final withholding tax na 20%. Now, however, kapag non-resident area not engaged to business, exempted siya. So, if you can see, ito na yung bago. I mean, namali sa tax code natin na hindi na na-revise. Kasi, literally, as you can see, dapat, pareho lang yan. Pareho lang dapat ang rin yan. However, hindi nga nabago. So, sa tuloy natin yun sa tax code, sa paying law. So, exempted na po kapag engaged to business. Kapag not engaged to business, 25%. Okay? So, ito na, pag interest income received from a depository bank under EFCDS. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, kapag OCW or OFW yung citizen, I mean taxpayer, automatic na exempted siya patungkol sa passive income na to. As long as yung depository bank, diba, yung remittances na yun is dineposit sa depository bank under EFCDS. Kapag hindi under EFCDS, automatic na yung 15% magiging 20%, as if na parang income interest siya, income interest yung sa first income interest from any currency bank deposit. Now, kapag wala under EFCDS, so subject sa 20%. Pero kapag under EFCDS, 15% na lang kapag resident or citizen. Kapag pag engaged to business, exempted. At the same time, kapag non-resident alien not engaged to business, exempted din. Bakit exempted to sa mga non-resident alien? Kasi nga, diba, sa mga remittances nila, gumaganda ang ekonomiya. So, as a result, bilang ganti po, dahil sa bawat remittances nila dito sa Pilipinas, kailangan natin i-exempt na yan. As long as yung deposit yun sa under EFCDS. So, cash and or property dividends actually or constructively received from any of the following. So, here, ang naka-receive po dito is yung individual taxpayers. Diba? If you remember, dun sa topic natin gross income, ang tinutukoy dun is ang nag-issue, corporation, ang naka-receive is corporation. So, yung approach magkaiba. However, here, di ba, ang naka-receive, individual, ang nag-issue corporation is also corporation. Kaya may final withholding tax yan. Okay? So, sa corporation natin, makikita natin yung detailed na tax, final withholding tax na dapat na gamitin. Tax rate. Okay? Income within on interest on long-term deposit of investment in banks with a maturity of 5 years or more. So, kapag 5 years or more, kapag resident or citizen exempted, kapag, what they call this, engaged to business exempted, kapag not engaged to business, 25%. So, ito yun. Diba? Another interest income from long-term deposit. However, kapag below 5%, taxable siya. However, subject to final withholding tax na depende sa holding period niya. Pag 4 to 5, 5% lang. Pag 3 to 4, 12%. Kapag less than 3, 20%. The same din with engaged to business. However, kapag not engaged to business, fixed na siya, 25%. Okay. So, here, diba, na-discuss ko na to, kapag prizes and awards, ang nakatanggap is is a taxpayer on which it is mandatory for him or her to render a service, automatic na yun ay subject sa income tax kasi nag-render siya ng service. Nga, kapag hindi siya taxable. Okay, discuss ko naman ito ng gross income. Okay? So, kapag CGT and stock transaction tax and sale of shares of domestic corporations, ang tinutukoy na share dito is shares of domestic corporation. Okay, yun yung may CGT at STP. Kapag CGT capital gains tax, kapag not through the local stock exchange sold directly to a buyer, may CGT na siya na 15% of capital gain. So, kapag sinabi ito, capital gain, so, the selling price of that share less the cost of that share equals to gain. So, yung gain, doon na i-multiply yung 15%. As long as it was sold not through the local stock exchange o hindi dumaan sa Philippine Stock Exchange, subject yan sa 15% of capital gain. Yan yung CGT niya. However, kapag through the local stock exchange na dumaan sa Philippine Stock Exchange po yung bentahan niya, ang STT naman, subject yan sa STP. So, 6/10 of 1% of gross selling price. So, yung STT dito, it is not considered as income it must not be added dun sa total income tax expense ni taxpayer. Tama? Oo. Yung CGT lang yung 50% of capital gain. Okay? Diba? Sale of shares of a domestic corporation na through the local stock exchange or directly to the buyer is subject to capital gains tax. Okay, kapag not through the local, tandaan nyo lang, kapag yung sale of domestic corporation is sold not through the local stock exchange, automatic na meron siyang capital gains tax na ang rate is 50%, ang tax base is yung capital gain. So, ito na yun. As what I said earlier, paano pagkakompute ng net capital gain? Okay. So, is example natin ng passive income. So, Helena, single and a resident citizen. So, ano ulit siya ng legal taxpayer? Resident citizen. So, lahat ng tax rates na patungkol sa resident citizen, di ba? Doon sa bawat passive income. Yan. Doon tayo nakapokus. Di ba? Kasi nga, bawat individual taxpayer may iba-ibang tax rates patungkol sa iba't ibang passive income. Tama? So, interest in BPI, savings, and deposit. So, sabihin natin itong for the year 2015, 2018 yan. Excuse me. 2018 yan kasi tayo nakabase na sa train law. So, interest in BPI, savings, and deposit, 75,000. So, how much is the final withholding tax? 20%. 20% yung final withholding tax rate na gagamitin. So, ang final withholding tax is 15%. Diba? Before computing the final withholding tax, aside from identifying kung uri yung individual taxpayers yung sa given, at the same time, dapat yung mga income kung saan ba nang galing, kung outside ba or inside. So here, ito, kapag silent naman, automatic na, when I'm coming sa, derived here in the Philippines. So, tama. So, royalty from invention, di ba? Kapag royalty from books and other literary works, di ba? Tax rate, ang final withholding tax rate na gagamitin is what they call this, 10%. Pag mga literary works. Pero kapag hindi literary works, 20%. So, ito na yun. Multiply lang. So, makuha ang final withholding tax. Ito, 16,000. So, C, pricing painting competition. So, nag-render siya ng service dyan, di ba? I mean, may ginawa siya para manalo, di ba? Kasi nag-compete siya sa painting. Tama. So, subject yan sa final withholding tax na 50,000 times 20%. Ito yun. So, 10,000. Okay, kapag ang prices is amounting to 10,000 pesos or less, yun ay subject sa included siya sa taxable income. Okay? Pero kapag PCSO, 10,000 or less, yun ay included siya sa, exempted kapag 10,000 or less. Tama? Amounting to 10,000 or less, exempted 25%. Okay. Mahalo. So, ito pa. Dividends received from a domestic corporation. Sino man naka-receive? Individual taxpayer. So, saan ba galing yung, what they call this? Yung income na yun. 30,000, di ba? Saan galing yung income na yun? Dito sa Pilipinas. So, subject yan sa final withholding tax na 10%. So, tax on non-resident aliens not engaged in trade or business. So, dito dapat, subject yan sa final withholding tax na 25% from all sources within the Philippines only. So, here, tinutukay dito kahit hindi siya passive income, any income na na-earn dito sa Pilipinas na not engaged in trade or business, automatic na, subject to final withholding tax na 25%. Okay, so the following forms of income from sources within shall be subject to tax. So, pag not engaged to business, 25% final withholding tax in all ordinary income as long as that income is derived here in the Philippines, subject yan sa 25% final withholding tax. Tama. Kapag passive income derived from sources within the Philippines, including interest income from a long-term bank deposit or investment and PCSO or lotto winnings except for interest income on bank deposit under FCDU, automatic yan sa final withholding tax. Kasi kapag interest income on bank deposit under FCDU ang naka-receive is not engaged to business, yun ay exempted. Okay? The rest is 25%. So, CGT on sale of shares of domestic corporation directly to a buyer. Diba? Kapag directly to buyer, ano yan? Sold, not, diba? Hindi yung binenta sa PSE or local stock exchange. Kasi directly to buyer yan. Tama ba? Wait lang. Check natin. Subject yan sa CGT, 50% of capital gain. Okay, next, CGT on sale of real property classified as capital asset located in the Philippines. May CGT pa rin yan. So, subject yan sa capital gains tax. Kahit ang naka-receive, kahit ang taxpayer is not engaged to trade or business. Ito, yung isa ko lang yan. So, here, the CGT on real properties located in Philippines, subject yan sa 6%. So, here, tinutukoy ang magiging tax base dito sa selling of real properties located in the Philippines is it's either the gross selling price and fair market value determined by the Commissioner of Internal Revenue and the fair market value determined by the provincial or city assessor, whichever is higher. So, i-multiply natin yung sa 6% para makita yung para malaman natin capital gains tax on the real properties that are located in the Philippines. Okay, kapag binenta yung isang ari-arian, di ba? Tapos hindi naman siya ginagamit sa business o hindi siya inventorable, ganyan, di ba? Considered yun as capital assets. So, kung yung capital assets na yun nabenta, tas real property siya, tas located here in the Philippines, subject yan sa 6% capital gains tax. So, hindi porket na sinabi, capital gains tax, hindi natin dapat i-less yung cost ng real property dun sa selling price. Kasi nga dito, ang computation niya, ang tax base daw, is shall be whichever is higher between gross selling price and fair market value determined by CIR or permanent value determined by provincial or city assessor. Okay, mamaya discuss natin yan. May topic pa dito. Okay, next, in case of disposition of real property classified as capital assets is sold to government or any political subdivisions or agencies or GOCC shall be determined in either of the following at the option of the taxpayer. Una, in accordance with graduated tax. So, all of the individual taxpayers can avail this as long as yung real property niya is considered as capital assets at the same time located here in the Philippines. Diba? May option si buyer at the same time, ang buyer is yung government, may option si taxpayer or si seller na mamili kung ano yung babayaran niya tax. So, usually, ang pinipili niya dyan na is kung saan yung mababa yung babayaran. So, dalawa lang pipilian. Una, in accordance with the graduated tax. Tama. Or the usual CGT, which is 6% final tax based on the gross selling price or fair market value, whichever is higher. So, tinutukoy itong whichever is higher, yung usual na computation, yung gross selling price or yung fair market value based on sa BAR, tapos based on the provincial assessor, diba? Kung sino mataas doon, yung multiply yung 6%. Okay, next, 15% final is further imposed upon the net capital gains realized during the taxable share of stock ito ng domestic corporation. So ang babayaran kapag CGT, ang binenta is domestic shares, subject yun sa 15% final withholding tax. Okay, so inulit lang din to kanina. Ito din, paulit-ulit. Para walang yan. Ito din, inulit-ulit ko lang. Paulit-ulit pala siya. Okay, sorry. So here in our illustration, Mr. Christopher is an non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. Assume that he earned both businesses and compensation income. So, sorry to compute the final withholding tax. So, sa cash dividend, so, ang uri ng taxpayer, not engaged in trade or business. So, yung 60% niya, yung sa table natin is subject sa 25% final withholding tax. Tama. Interest in dollar deposit. Excuse. So here, bakit yung interest in dollar deposit? Hindi siya subject sa tama. So, okay, so sa illustration natin, may ano siya kulang. Kapag interest in dollar deposit, di ba? Sabi ko kanina, kapag walang under EFCDS, automatic na, yan ay yung ordinary, deposit siya. So, dapat, subject itong interest in dollar deposit, dapat yun ay subject sa, let's see, 25%. Oo, dapat dito yan, no? Interest from any currency bank deposit. So, 25% siya. Unless, magiging exempted lang yan siya kapag yung interest from dollar deposit is under EFCDS. So, exempted siya. So, here in our illustration, dapat i-subject natin yan sa 25%. Nawala lang dito. So, ang tama po, kapag sa problem side din, kung under EFCDS ba siya or hindi, dapat i-indicate kung under EFCDS. So, kapag walang EFCDS, automatic na, subject yan sa 25%. So, sa illustration natin, kulang pa to. Dapat i-multiply rin to sa 25%. Itong interest in dollar deposit. Unless, kung nakalagay dyan is under EFCDS, yung expanded foreign currency deposit system. So, exempted siya. But here in our problem, dapat subject yan sa 25%. So, sa answer ko dito, kulang to. Sa answer ng station, kulang. Okay? During the year, this condominium unit in Tagaytay, which has market value of 1.8, was sold for 2 million. So, condominium unit yan, di ba? So, consider na as capital asset kasi hindi naman yan ginagamit sa business. Di ba? For personal use yan, usually. So, meron yan, subject yan sa 6% capital gains tax. So, how much is the market value or the fair market value? 1.8. How much is the selling price? 2 million. Sino ba yung mas mataas? 2 million. Yung nagiging tax base. So, 2 million times 6%. So, ang final withholding tax niya or CGT on CGT is 120,000. Okay? So, how much is the taxable income subject to final withholding tax? I-add mo na yung lahat. Cash dividend, 60,000. Interest in dollar deposit, 20,000. Tama. Okay, the condominium, the selling price, kasi yan pipiliin natin kasi ngayon yung mataas. Tama. So, 2,080,000 yung taxable income niya. Okay, however, yung tax rates na gagamitin is magkaiba. Pero yung cash dividend tapos interest in dollar deposit, pareho lang i-multiply sa 25%. However, the CGT, 6% yung tax rate. Okay, so next, allowable deductions from income of individual taxpayers. So here, deduction allowed shall depend on the nature of income earned by the taxpayer. So kapag compensation income and passive income, no deductions at all. Bakit? Kasi nga, compensation income yun wala namang expenses or cost na masabing allowable na pwedeng i-deduct dun sa gross income. At the same time, yung passive income kasi, subject yan sa final withholding tax. So whatever the income, di ba, gross income na yun, na passive income, yun yung magiging tax base. Then, multiplied by the final withholding tax rates patungkol dun sa passive income na yun. However, kapag business or professional, pwede yung magkaroon ng allowable deduction. Dalawa yan guri. Una, itemized deduction. So, itemized deductions, the usual deduction lang yan, yung mga business expenses, di ba? Yung cost of goods sold, cost of services, di ba? Operating expenses, yung mga expense na gano'n patungkol sa businesses or pag render ng profession mo, diba? Or pag render ng services, automatic na yun, deductible po yun, or allowable deduction po yun. Samantalang ito sa optional standard deduction, yan yung may 40%, diba? Wala na siyang allowable deduction. Pero, yung gross sales or receipts, imamultiply na kaagad sa 40% para yun yung magiging automatic na allowable deduction ng ng individual taxpayer. So after identifying, di ba, dun sa gross sales, after knowing the gross sales or receipts, di ba, para makuha mo yung allowable deduction, kung ang gagamitin mo ay optional standard deduction, i-multiply mo yun sa 40%. Then, after multiplying it to 40%, then kung magkano yung nakuha mo, yun ay ipang-deduct mo dun sa gross sales or gross receipts. Then, after that, i-add mo pa rin or isa-sum up mo yung other income niya. Oo, compensation income, ganyan. Diba? I-add mo pa doon para makuha mo yung total taxable income niya. So, here in our illustration, so, si Mr. Antonio B, diba? Married siya, may 6 na children. Diba? So, ito, namalina tayo po lang to. Dapat yan ay 2018. Kasi kapag, because of claim law, sabi ko nga kanina, na hindi na pwede mag-avail any individual taxpayers ng personal exemptions, additional exemptions, HHIP, wala na po yun. Oo. So, sa claim law, hayaan mo lang yan, huwag mo nang pansinin yan. However, sa gross compensation income, itong 240,000 lang yung included sa gross compensation income. At the same time, there is no deduction. Wala kasi compensation income yan. Tama? Diba? Sa 240,000, kapag yung problem silent, automatic na ang gagamitin ko is yung regulated tax rates. Tama? So, yung 240,000 exempted yan kasi 250,000 and below is exempted. Okay? So, next, OSD na tayo. So, optional standard deduction. So, in lieu of itemized deductions, an individual taxpayer except non-resident alien may elect a standard deduction in amount not exceeding 40% of his gross sales or gross receipts, as the case may be. So, kapag, what they call this, resident citizen, non-resident citizen, tapos resident alien, pwede mag-avail ng OSD. However, kapag non-resident alien, hindi siya pwede mag-avail ng 40%. Ng optional standard deduction na 40% of his gross sales or receipts. Okay? So, here in our illustration, Marlon, a businessman, diba? So, kapag silent yung problem, automatic na resident citizen yan. So, ang gross income niya is 780,925, diba? With allowable itemized deductions of 485,920. Then, for the last 3 quarters of the year, he remitted tax in the amount of 200,000. So, business siya, tama? So, required siya na quarterly, every quarter, magbabayad siya ng income tax. So, for the last 3 quarters nga daw, ang nabayaran niya na o na-remit na ng tax is 200,000 pesos. So, itong 200,000 pesos na to, after knowing the income tax payable, yung cumulative, di ba? Kasi nga, ang 4th quarter to, automatic. So, sabi ko nga kanina, discuss ko na kapag nag-complete ka quarterly, cumulative basis yan. Tama? So, pag 2nd quarter, yung gross income niya, or gross sales niya, dapat cumulative. So, from the 1st month up to the 6th month, kasi 2nd quarter siya, lahat ng income niyon or lahat ng gross sales dapat isa-sum up. Hindi lang yung para lang sa 2nd quarter kasi cumulative basis siya. So, whatever the amount that was already paid, i-deduct po yan sa income tax payable. Kasi nabayaran na. Oo, nabayaran naman na yun. So, kailangan i-deduct natin. So, here, sabi dito, ang requirement is itemized deduction and OSD. So, kapag itemized deduction, simply as i-deduct mo lang yung mga itemized deduction niyan. 485,920. Tama? So, sa CBAR, kapag ang pinili mo is itemized deductions, kapag mag-audit yan, mas focus yan sa gross income at the same time sa itemized sa mga itemized deduction mo. Pero kapag OSD yan, si BAR, nakafocus na yan kay gross income. Kasi nga, yung allowable deduction mo patungkol sa OSD is 40% of gross sales or receipts. So then, yung itemized deduction mo, yung mga business expenses mo, ano na yan, hindi napapansin ni BAR kasi nga, ang ginamit mong allowable deduction is based on gross income, which is 40% of gross sales or receipts. So, titingnan talaga is yung gross sales or receipts. Okay? So, kung itemized deduction, as simply as deducting all of the expenses attributable sa businesses. Yan, i-less mo lang siya. So, makuha mo yung taxable income. Tama. Pero kapag OSD, okay, kapag OSD, dapat 40% of gross sales or receipts. So, here's a problem kapag hindi given yung gross sales or receipts, ang gagamitin is gross income. Pero kapag given yung gross sales receipts, tapos cost of goods sold or cost of services, hindi mo dapat i-deduct yung cost of services or cost of goods sold dun sa gross sales or receipts. Tapos din, i-compute mo yung 40% o hindi. Dapat yung 40% dito, i-multiply mo siya sa gross sales or receipts. Ibig sabihin, before any reduction of cost of goods sold or cost of services. Now, so ito na yung taxable income. So, individuals earning income from self-employment or practice of profession. So, dito kapag self-employed siya, tapos, or practice of profession at the same time, yun, pag self-employed ka and practicing your profession, may choice ka, dalawa. It's either graduated tax rates ang gagamitin mo, o kaya 8% tax on gross sales or and receipts and other non-operating in excess of 250,000 in view of the graduated income tax rates and the percentage. And the percentage tax, 3% non-VAT. So, as long as yung business mo o yung practice of profession mo, diba? So, or self-employed ka, as long as yung gross sales or receipts mo and other non-operating income does not exceed 3 million, diba? You have the option to avail graduated rates or 8% tax on gross sales or receipts and other non-operating in excess of 250,000 in view of the graduated income tax rates and the percentage tax. Tama. So, kapag itong ginamit mo pangalawa, no need for you to pay the OPT or other percentage tax ng 3% for being non-VAT. No need for it kasi 8% na in-avail mo. Okay, at the same time, no need for you to, yung income tax based on graduated tax rates, hindi mo na yan papakalang. Kasi ang pinili mo, 8%. Okay? So, here's illustration natin. Miss EBQ operates a convenience store while she offers bookkeeping services to her clients. In 2018, her gross sales amounted to 800,000 in addition to her receipts from bookkeeping services of 300,000 pesos. She already signified her intention to be taxed at 8% income tax rate in her first quarter return. Her income tax for the year will be computed as follows. So, dito sa computation po natin, ang dapat sa problem ay dapat alam mo yung intention yan, kung anong gagamitin niyang computation. Diba? Kung silent, automatic na ang gagamitin graduated tax rates. Okay? So, gross sales, convenience store, 800,000, plus gross receipts, bookkeeping, 300,000. So, ang total sales or receipts niya, 1,100,000. Then, sabi dito, dapat may deduction siya 250,000. So, given na po yan. I mean, fixed na po yung 250,000. Kasi diba, saan yung nanggaling? Nanggaling po yan sa graduated tax rates natin. Kasi sa graduated tax rates natin, kapag 250,000 or below, exempted siya. So, dapat tanggalin natin 250,000. Kasi ang amount na 250,000 and below are exempted. Tama, exempted po yan. Ceiling yan na exemption. So, tanggalin po natin. So, ang taxable income niya is 850,000. So, times 8%, diba? So, makukuha na is 68,000. What if may other income siya aside from business income niya? Diba? So, i-add lang natin dito sa taxable income, no other income niya, then multiply by 8%. So, yun na yung tax payable niya. So, under TAIN law, self-employed and professionals are given the option to be taxed at 8% income tax rate in lieu of the graduated income tax rate and OPT under Section 116. These options are available only to taxpayers who are non-VAT registered. So, dapat, aside from yung gross sales or receipts niya is not more than 3 million, dapat hindi talaga siya non-VAT. Diba? And next, those liable to percentage taxes. So, kapag liable siya sa, from the start, liable talaga siya sa OPT, no need for the taxpayer to avail 8%, hindi na po pwede siya makabil ng 8%. Have no other option than to be taxed using graduated tax rates. Okay, next, the basis for 8% income tax rate. Okay, purely SEP, gross sales and or receipts and other non-operating income after deducting 250,000. Okay, tama. So, kapag purely self-employed siya, yung ceiling na 250,000, i-deduct na natin yung kasi exempted yun. Tama. Next, pag mixed earner, so self-employed tapos may income from employment, so gross sales and or receipts and other non-operating without deducting 250,000. Bakit? So, kapag mixed earner siya, may compensation income, tapos may income siya as a self-employed taxpayer, no need for, the computation is separate. So, kapag compensation income, hindi siya pwedeng gamitin yung 8%. Kasi 8% pwede lang yan sa mga income na earn as self-employed. Tama sa business, what you call this, income from profession, yan. Doon lang pwede magamit 8%. Kapag compensation income, automatic na, ang pwede nang gamitin computation sa pag-compute ay yung graduated tax rates. Tama. Diba? So, before computing the income from being self-employed, dapat i-compute mo muna yung taxable income as an employee. So, after, diba, sa graduated tax rates natin, kasi nga, yung sa graduated tax rates natin, diba, nakalagay doon kapag 23,000 or below, zero siya. So, kung may, other income, aside from compensation income, tapos ang pinili mo doon sa income na yun is 8%, tama? No need po nyo deduct to 250,000 kasi na-avail mo na from the start patungkol dun sa pag-compute ng income tax payable patungkol dun sa compensation income mo. Okay? So, illustrate natin para mas madali maintindihan. So, here, a taxpayer is a mixed income earner. So, kapag compensation income, yun, separate, dapat subject to graduated rates siya. Mag-tax, tama? Kapag self-employed, may choice siya. It's either, ang piliin niya is graduated tax rates or 8%. So, dito sa problem natin. So, dito, noong 2018, he opted to be taxed at 8% income tax rate on his gross sales for his income of 100,000 pesos. So, how much is the total compensation income? 1.5, tama. Pero naman pa other benefits, deduct natin yan kasi, exemption yan. Tama, ba? Ceiling yan. Ceiling na hindi taxable, 90,000. So, ang taxable compensation income niya is 1,410,000. So, itong 1,410,000, 10,000 compensation income yan, dapat, ang gagamitin lang yan dyan is graduated tax rates. Tama. Ito na yun. Tapos, kapag business income, pero ang pinili niya is 8%. Okay? Ang pinili niya 8%. Okay. So, first, dapat daw, kung ma-avail ka ng 8%, dapat yung gross sales mo or receipts the same plus the other income is not more than 3 million. So, hindi siya more than 3 million kasi 2.5 million na siya. So, pwede siya mag-avail ng 8%. Then, complete na natin. So, no need for you to deduct the 250,000 kasi from the first place, na-avail mo na siya sa pag-complete ng taxable income or tax due on compensation income. Na-avail mo na dito. So, no need for you to deduct another 250,000 dito kasi, di ba, na-avail mo na nga dito, so, matutubiin. Tama. So, direkta mo na kagad i-complete sa 8% o i-multiply sa 8%. So, ang tax due on business is 200,000. Diba? Then, add the tax due on compensation. So, ang total income tax due is 513,000 pesos. Diba? So, kapag may compensation income ka, tapos self-employed ka, diba? O may business income ka or income from ang profession, diba? Ang pag-complete niya, separate. Yung unahin mo munang i-complete. Diba? Ang maganda unang complete is yung compensation income. Para from the start, you already know that you have already availed that 250,000 exemption. Tama. So, after completing that, diba, punta ka naman dun sa 8%. Ang 8%, ang i-multiply lang dun is yung income na earn sa business, diba? Tapos income na earn sa profession. Okay. Then, see to it na yung gross sales or receipts niya plus the other income must not be over 3 million pesos. Okay, then kung hindi siya over 3 million pesos, so pwede siya mag-avail ng 8%. Then, ang formula is, di ba, what they call this, gross sales or receipts plus other non-operating income, di ba, equals total gross income less yung ceiling na 250,000, then multiply it by 8%. However, here, kapag mixed earner ka, kapag nag-avail ka ng 8%, no need for you to avail. I mean, you are not required anymore. You cannot avail anymore the 250,000 pesos kasi na-avail mo na sa pag-complete ng tax due mo on compensation income. So, direkta mo na kagad i-multiply sa 8%. Then, sum up mo lang yung tax due on compensation income plus tax due on business income. And then, total na babayaran mong income tax. Okay? So, what if ang pinili mong mixed earner is graduated tax rates? So, kapag graduated tax rates yan, automatic na yung business income niya, di ba, yung income from profession, he can avail the allowable deduction. Compare dun sa, kung pinili mo 8%, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-avail ng allowable deduction. Okay? So, simply as that lang. Ganyan computation lang. Then, after completing the total income, isama mo rin sa compensation income dyan. Then, gagamitin mo yung graduated tax table, you will came up on a total income tax due of this amount. Okay, next. So, other taxpayers. So, si statutory minimum wage earner, na-discuss ko naman yan, yung gross income. Diba? As long as the taxpayer is considered as MWE, diba? Exempted yan. Exempted yung basic income tax niya. Basic income or minimum wage. Pati yung holiday pay niya, overtime pay, night shift differential, hazard pay. Yan. Isasama po niya. And then, although kung mag-exceed yan sa 250,000, hindi pa rin yan taxable kasi MWE. Tama? Unless kung may other income niya, business income or income from profession, automatic na yung income na sa business tapos sa profession, yun ay subject sa income tax. Pero yung compensation income niya as a minimum wage earner is the same, exempted pa niya siya.